Magandang gabi ng linggo sa ating lahat mga katropang trainers. At ngayon po ay isa na namang episode ng Usapang Training at iba pa. Ulan tayo sa practice. Nag-day off po kasi kami last Sunday kaya po tayo ay walang usapang training, but we're back. Okay, at magkakasama na naman po ang ating tropa minus AM who's not feeling well today. So pinagpahinga na muna natin. So before we start, ako po si Edwin Ebreo and I will be tonight's host. And with me are our katropa. Louie, introduce yourself.
Louie Banta po, CEO at Chief Trainer ng LJMB Consulting at talaga lamang todo suporta sa PSDD.
Totoo yan. Pearl.
Hello. Yan, hindi ako nakamute ngayon. Nanibago na ako. Yan. So, welcome everyone sa Usapang Training at iba pa. My name is Pearl Martinez. I'm the Global L&D Manager for SGS and Co. And of course, June.
Hello, good evening everyone. June Roy po, past president po ng PSTD and currently working as OD Consulting Head of Nomura Research Institute. Yan, welcome.
Okay, thank you. Naka-block tayo lahat today.
Yeah, napansin ko nga eh.
Anyway, bago po ang sobrang exciting nating topic for tonight, syempre, sisimulan natin ang lahat para paratingan kayo ng mga balita tungkol sa ating pinakamamahal na society, Philippine Society for Talent Development. Balitang PSTD, June, pasok.
All right, thank you, Ed. Most of these are actually shown to you, but we want to stress, no? So of course, yung nalalapit na ating Breakthrough 48 National Convention. So pag titignan nyo lang yung mga mukha, no? So you can the mix of international world-class speakers from here and from other countries. So sulit na sulit po yung experience na yan. The other one, it's palagi especially for those who are members and who are active in using our website. Marami na pong materials, no, na pwede nyong gamitin. And you can access this. And they are for the taking. So samantalahin po ninyo yan. And then if you're a member, we have our resources sa ating tinatawag na LXP, yung Learning Experience Portal. So what we want to do here is not just for you to use but also to share. No? So makikita nyo dito yung iba't ibang mga tools at padagdag pa yan. No? Kilala na natin kung sino yung sino yung suki na nagdadagdag, no? And then this coming October especially, so marami po tayong naka-line up na mga training programs and all of these are related sa ating master certification. Okay, so we invite everyone and encourage you to take part in these trainings or send someone who will be part of this training. Kasi especially yung, let's say for example, training facilitation, training designers, and all of these are the way we conduct training at PSTD, especially for those who have already taken, output-oriented siya at outcome-oriented. So you will be guided by a facilitator who will not only facilitate, but who will also check your output and give you feedback.
At certification, Jude.
At certification.
Certification course yung dalawa dito.
Exactly.
Yung facilitation at saka training designer.
Yung dalawa. No? And then, lastly, tuloy-tuloy po yung ating efforts sa pagbuo ng ating junior PSTD. So if you want to take part of this, please reach out to us through Kevin Nera. So let's also involve.
Ando dito si Kevin.
Andyan si Kevin, no? Hi Kevin. Yan. So may mga almost dalawa na, no? Na masa-sign up tayo. Yeah, but we need more, no? Participation coming from our members. So yan po muna yung balitang PSTD. Back to you, Ed.
Salamat, June. Ayan, sana po ay na-inspire kayo na mag-join sa ating mga events at take advantage of the resources, no, being put together by PSTD for its members. Pero hindi yan ang topic natin ngayong gabi. Ang topic natin ngayong gabi ay tungkol sa workplace coaching and its place in managing employee performance. If you remember, for the last 2 episodes, we've been working on the elements of performance or components of performance management, because performance management is an important part of the talent development or TD framework, no? And when we say performance management, we're not just talking about performance appraisal. Napag-usapan po natin yan. By the way, pakishare yung link ng ating YouTube channel. Kung hindi nyo po napanood yung last 2 episodes ng Usapang Training at iba pa pertaining to performance management, pwede nyo pong mahuli yan sa YouTube. No? Nandoon po, meron tayong YouTube channel. When we talk about performance management, we're talking about setting performance goals or targets, clarifying performance expectations in terms of behavior, monitoring and feedback, developing employees' capacity to perform, appraising performance, and rewarding performance. So hindi lang appraising performance. It's probably the least challenging part, yung appraising. So ngayon, dahil we're talking about 2 components, well, actually marami, halos lahat ng component, where does coaching fit in? Now, our resource person for tonight is somebody who doesn't need a lot of introduction. Kilala nyo na po, lalo na kung kayo ay suki ng Usapang Training at iba pa. No, one of the most sought after learning and development consultant, and expert on our topic, CEO of LJMB and an avid supporter of PSTD, Louis John Banta. Palakpakan naman natin.
Nax! Ganda ng introduction. Salamat. And glad to be here. At nakakapanibago, no, na part ka ng ng hosting group, no. Tapos at the same time resource person. Pero masarap pag-usapan itong coaching. In fact, ko lang last Friday, ang topic ko rin ay coaching using the framework that we will also introduce tonight.
Yeah, sayang naman ang expertise mo kung hindi natin i-take advantage, So kaya naisip ng grupo, ba't maghahanap pa tayo ng ibang i-interviewin kung yung expert nandito na. Yan.
Thank you.
Okay, so the first question that I'd like to ask Louis, just to clarify to everyone, ano bang importance ng workplace coaching in managing employee performance?
Pag pinag-usapan ng performance management, unang-una nga, sabi mo kanina, the myth is performance management is performance appraisal. No? Hindi po. No? Performance management, as we may have also previewed in previous episodes of Usapang Training, spans that end-to-end or start-to-end cycle. No? From goal setting to monitoring and feedback, to developing the employee's capacity to perform, and at the same time, kasama din sa dulo yung appraisal. The end goal of performance management is to ensure that employees across all levels, across all units, perform so that the company achieves its goals. At hindi pwedeng mawala yung usapan ng coaching. Pag pinag-uusapan yung how to ensure that employees perform, hindi pwedeng hindi natin isuot as people managers yung ating coaching hat, because there will be new employees, there will be employees who will be rotated in different roles, technologies, processes change, and employees would need help in coaching. And even your peak performers will have life events or personal struggles that prevent them from achieving their goals. Critical ang coaching sa performance.
Hindi pwede, ito target mo, bahala ka na.
Ay, ganun, madalas pa ring mangyari yan, no? Kaya nga ang nangyayari sa coaching, may acronym dyan yung SAFM.
SAFM.
SAFM stands for Simply Asking for More. Ayan, ha? At nung una akong nagko-conduct ng mga coaching sessions ng mga, sabihin natin mga 20 years ago, no? Pag nag-o-audit ako, nakikinig ako sa mga coaching sessions. Ang bilis ng coaching kasi sinasabi lang ng manager hindi ka to-market. Hindi mo na-achieve yung metrics. Ano gagawin natin? Di ba? To-market ka naman. Ano sasabihin ng either salesperson or frontliner or associate, no? O kaya call center agent. Ano sasabihin niya? Oo nga sir, nahiya nga ako. Sorry po, no? Sasabihin ngayon ng manager, anong gagawin natin? You have to produce more. You have to meet the target, no? Basta po, ako pong bahala, no? Gagawan po natin ng paraan.
I'll do my best.
Promise.
Babawi ako.
O pirmahan, babawi ako. Pirmahan tayo. Coaching log signed. Tapos ang coaching in 3 to 5 minutes, no? Hindi dapat.
So in short, pinagsabihan lang.
Correct.
Coaching
tapos,
na.
demand lang talaga. Yung manager talagang just pressures and demands people to produce more. Kaya simply asking for more yung nangyayari sa conversation.
So in short, Louie, it's not just doing coaching, but doing the right coaching, no?
Ay, oo, kasi lalo na sa panahon natin ngayon, itong word na coaching, kahit di ka umattend ng coaching training, di ba? A lot of people will claim that they know how to coach, that they do coaching. Yes. And a lot of my trainees in my coaching workshops really get shocked or surprised. They have a lot of realizations na yung ginagawa ko pala dati, either kulang o hindi pala coaching.
O mali.
Advising pala.
Telling or advising.
Okay, sige. Feel free to chime in, Pearl, and June, as we go along. So, ano ba yung mga opportunities? Kasi meron tayong pinag-usapang performance management cycle, di ba? Ano ba yung mga opportunities for coaching conversations?
Sa bawat phase ng performance management, it presents an opportunity for a leader conversation. Yung unang-una, yung goal setting. Ang goal setting ay hindi magiging conversation. It will just be a top-down cascade of numbers and targets. Alam naman natin.
Target mo, tapos na.
Tapos hindi maka-raise ng concern yung employee. Tapos after 3 months, 6 months, nagtataka tayo bakit hindi niya na-deliver, no? Because it's the lack of that coaching conversation at the start of the PM process as early as goal setting.
Okay, so performance goal setting, kailangan ng coaching.
Yes.
How about performance monitoring and feedback?
Yun yung pinakamahaba di ba? Yung goal setting sa kanyang appraisal.
Lalo na kung annual yung appraisal mo.
Correct. 365 days, no? Yung goal setting sa kayong appraisal, yun yung mga seasonal di ba? It happens in a span of, it happens in an hour or two. There are preparations and post-work involved. Pero yung in-between mo na isang taon or kung twice a year ang iyong performance management appraisal, 6 months, no? Ang laking opportunity. Araw-araw presents an opportunity for coaching, no? People say, I don't know how to do it. People say, I'm afraid I can do it. I cannot do it. People say, but I lack confidence in doing it, no? Yun na lang mismo yung listening to the questions and reactions of people while performing the work already opens up a box of opportunities.
So and then so I suppose that as you kasi di ba, performance goal setting, monitoring and feedback, developing capacity to perform, as you provide feedback, there's coaching, no? And then performance appraisal.
Ay, oo, sa dulo. Kasi nag-appraise ka, nag-deliver ka ng grade, yung may rating, performance rating, the rational why, susundan pa yan ng individual development plan. Yes, no? So, how does the person now make sure that the following quarter, following semi-annual period, or following year, he does not, he improves. No? He does better than the previous rating.
So, ang dami palang opportunities. Jun, nagtaas ka ng kamay.
Yeah, oo. Kasi yung, correct me if I'm wrong, Louie, yung iisip ko doon. One of the reasons why hindi na-integrate yung coaching, is it probably because hindi klaro sa kanila kung ano yung role, let's say, ng goal setting? Or iba yung goal na alam nila, right? For example, if your goal in the goal setting, it's basta magkaroon ng goal, maibaba yun or maikascade, oo, di ba? Pumirma, and then you've done your job, di ba? So, ang tanong ko doon, let's say, just to put coaching into that context, kapag nagbaba ka during the goal setting, ano ba dapat talaga ang goal mo as the leader?
As the performance manager.
For you to be able to achieve this, you will need coaching. Doon lang sa goal setting muna. Ano yung pinaka-goal talaga noon?
Ang pinaka-goal noon is to really identify and agree on the right goals. Di ba? Of course, ang input ng tao doon kasi is what has worked in the past performance period. And that the manager just makes sure that the employee's input leads to goals that are aligned with the organization's goals or the business unit goals. Hindi na, ang tanong kanina, yung ano ba yung reason bakit hindi na-integrate? Kasi nasanay tayo dun sa top-down eh.
Right.
Top-down, sa just simply cascading the goals, and then later on, we wonder why the goals were not achieved in the first place. Hindi natin kinuna ng input sa buy-in. Hindi natin narinig yung reality part sa grow.
Right.
What are the barriers that the employees have experienced given certain goals?
So ibig sabihin mo yung agree at saka buy-in, yes or no, no? Hindi to yung tipong okay. So ito yung goals natin, okay ka na ba dyan? And then sasabihin ng empleyado, I'm okay with this. And then nagkaroon na ng buy-in. Hindi ganun yung buy-in na pinag-uusapan natin, ano?
Ako, ang tanong ko nga dyan, Jun, sa coaching ko, ayoko nung yes or no. Kasi, di ba, tinatanong ko dyan, in a scale of 1 to 10 or using a scale of 1 to 10, doon sa last letter ng grow na mamaya, may slides tayong papakita. Sa wrap up, o sa will, o sa way forward. In a scale of 1 to 10, how confident are you that given these goals and plans, we will be able to achieve them after 3 to 6 months? So kapag ang sagot ay 9 or 10, mataas yun.
Right.
Pag ang sagot ay mga 6, 5, 6, 7, then you may need to revisit, go back to an earlier stage in the conversation. Huwag mong pakawalan yung tao kasi for sure, mababa yung buy-in. At saka meron, may apprehensions yun in achieving the goal.
Mayroon din akong ginagamit na question for yung WIIFM, di ba? Yung what's in it for you if you achieve these performance targets?
Pearl, may gusto ka sabihin?
Pearl, ikaw naman.
Hindi, kasi ang tanong ko lang, Louie, ano naman yung role? Kasi we're talking to talent development professionals here. I mean, I think most of us, dahil nasa talent development tayo, alam natin yung importance ng coaching, alam natin yung performance management, but how do we now communicate all of these things to the managers and even to the employees? Kasi kahit alam nung manager kung ano yung importance niyan, kung up to the level ng employees, hindi nila alam, di ba? Parang useless yung kaalaman na meron tayo as talent development professionals.
Instrumental kasi tayo sa building a coaching culture. So yun yung sweeping answer ko dyan. No? Umbrella statement, we as talent development professionals need to make sure that we will be instrumental in building and strengthening that coaching culture. Madalas nating naririnig yan, di ba? Sa mga companies, coaching culture. Pero paano masasabing coaching culture? Doon lang tayo sa level 1, level of compliance. Compliance muna pag-usapan natin, no? Nagko-comply ba sa regular coaching? And when we say regular coaching, ang best practice na nakikita ko sa labas once a month, kinakausap mo. Meron kang formal coaching conversation with each of your directors. Scheduled talaga, no? Diyan pa lang, marami nang nagre-react eh. You mean I have 10 people That means if it's once a month, I need to schedule 2 to 3 people in a week. Oh, yes.
Mabuti pa nga kung 10. Kasi meron kaming mga managers who have 30, 35 direct reports. So, paano pa yun? Kung i-coach mo sila, that's like 1 a day. Tapos na yung buong araw mo just to coach 35 people. Then next month, uulit ka na ulit. Yun yung laging tanong sa akin. Parang ng mga managers.
Ang sagot ko naman dyan ay it doesn't need to be an hour per person per coaching session. Yes, different employees have different needs. You also have different priorities kung sino yung ipaprioritize mong i-coach, no? You will not spend the same amount of time with 10 or 15 people that you're handling. So prioritization also comes in. So, sino yung pinaka-most urgent ko at pinaka-most critical ko na dapat i-coach, no? And then adjust your time accordingly.
I've encountered a similar dilemma when I was running a training on coaching, and my recommendation is to look for potential coaches within the team para hindi lang limitado doon sa manager. So if I may, no, I have 2 things I'd like to add dito sa ating conversation, especially for the talent development practitioners. I think this conversation helps, yung conversation natin ngayon helps the talent development practitioners who are thinking about how to integrate coaching and performance management. See what it takes, to come up with a good practice. And then second, gusto kong mag-comment doon sa yung goal ng performance goal setting para sa performance manager. I think it's more than just setting a clear set of goals with the employees buy-in, but also it to help the employee increase confidence, kasi yung tinatanong mo, Louie, na anong level of confidence mo na ma-achieve mo tong target na ito, no? And sometimes those targets are not movable kasi nakadepende dun yung health ng company, di ba? So yung facilitation of the coaching conversation na hindi lang napako doon sa yung goal natin, kung hindi, anong roadmap ang pwede nating i-create towards the achievement of the goal can be part of that conversation. So, para pagkatapos ng usapan nyo, and hopefully that also includes doon sa way forward or doon sa will, yung gano'ng kadalas tayo magkakaroon ng check-in session, to make sure that we are on track to achieve the goal. So there's a mutual accountability between the manager and the employee. I think it's important to be clarified during the performance goal setting. So coaching is very important in that regard.
Ed, kung check-in ang pinag-uusapan natin, kung regular ang coaching, which is again once a month, yes, it could be 10, 15 minutes, 20 minutes, 30 minutes. Kung magiging regular to, meron ka ng cycle, di ba? Na check-in mo yung progress ng goals, no? Anong mga barriers mo or what is your secret of success, and we can sustain it, we can address it.
Ang suggestion ko nga yung first few months at least twice a month and then you can move to maybe space it kung hindi naman kailangan maging ganun ka Okay. Do's and don'ts. Do's and don'ts. Sa tingin, yung mga do's and don'ts, Louie, in building a culture of coaching in the workplace?
Tuloy natin yung kanina, yung level 1 para sa akin, yung compliance. So meron tayong mga kliyente na ang objective is to build a coaching culture. So ang una kong mga tanong dyan ay gaano kadalas nagko-coach ang ating mga leaders, no? So pag ang sagot on an as-need basis, no, or as
pag may nagawang kasalanan.
Pag may nagawang kasalanan, no? So dapat i-establish natin yung compliance level muna tayo once a month, no? There has to be that regularity, no? Second one is nagko-coach nga sila, there's that frequency, but you now move on to level 2, which is now checking on the quality of the coaching conversations. And there are 2 things here sa quality ng coaching conversation. Number 1 ay may structure na ginagamit. Yan ang unang-una sa quality. Ba't kailangan ng structure pag chine-check mo yung quality ng coaching? Pag walang structure, freestyle ang conversation. Di ba? Ang dami rin ako na-encounter. Minsan mga senior leaders pa na, ba't kailangan pala structure? Pag mag-coach ako, freestyle. No? At Ed, Pearl, and June, in my engagements with my clients, I don't only do training for coaching or for leaders to do coaching. I also have the privilege to observe their coaching sessions. No? Yung tinatawag sa BPO industry na triad method.
Triad. Yeah.
Pag sinabing triad, there's a third party who observes the effectiveness of coaching. No? So I've been doing that since 2007. The third party in the room na awkward kasi nakaharap ka sa nakaharap ka sa wall kasi you don't want to influence the ongoing conversation.
Baka yung reaction mo.
Saka yung employee, no, kailangan i-brief natin siya ng matindi na it's not about you. I'm not observing you. I'm observing your people leader on how the person does coaching. Ngayon madali kasi ang daling mag-Zoom coaching or mag-MS Teams coaching ng leader at saka nung employee. Tapos isasubmit na lang sa akin for my audit. Meron lang consent, of course, no. You have to gather in consent from the employee. So having said that, mas importanteng structure kasi sa mga napakinggan kung ayaw gumamit ng structure, nawawala yung focus ng conversation, no? Saka masyadong mahaba. Kaya nagkakaroon ng reputation ng coaching na makain sa oras, no? It will be if we are not efficient with our use of our time and the use of structured conversations like Grow and others, no? Sa importante may ginagamit kayong structure na talaga na-focus niya na da-divert kayo lalo na sa sagot ng employee, ang haba ng sagot tapos hindi connected, it's very easy for the leader to bring it back. By the way, let's just go back to the root causes of the performance. By the way, let's just revisit again our suggested options to address the behavior. Yung isa pang basehan ng quality of coaching, sabi ko structure, no? Yung isa nga is dapat may nag-o-observe. I don't want to call it audit, yes, but the talent development professional should structure the coaching system in the company so that any leader can actually sit in and watch, observe, learn from the coaching practices of other managers and at the same time give feedback. Pag merong manonood sa'yo, I'm sure talagang huhusayan mo yung mo, di ba?
Hawthorne effect.
Yeah.
Pag daw pa nanonood sa'yo, mas lalo mong ginagalingan, Okay, that's a good idea. Now, aside from structure and yung compliance structure at saka yung yung checking, auditing, meron bang kailangan tandaan yung mga, for example, yung mga coaches so that it doesn't fall outside the realms of coaching? Kasi napapag-usapan nga natin kanina, Pearl, sa BPO, kung hindi naman lahat, but
mostly
kapag ka coaching principal's office, principal's office kami ginawa kang mali, and that I think that stems from how the coaching conversation, not just the structure but the manner by which the coach communicates. Meron bang mga dapat na do's and don'ts na ayan, sabi ni Maribel, coaching equals sabunan.
Sabunan.
Tsaka yun nga yung term, di ba? Pagka meron ka, mamaya coaching ka. Tapos, coaching ka pa.
Panakot, parang
panakot yun.
Alam mo, Ed, nung ako'y unang nagkaroon ng mga BPO clients around 17, 18 years ago, naririnig ko rin yung word na performance management. Back in 2005, whenever I hear, let's performance manage, yung performance management, ginagawang verb. Pag ginamit yung performance manage, let's performance manage Louie. Sabi ko, what does that mean? Ibig sabihin, PIP.
Tanggalin mo na.
Nagkaroon ng bad rep talaga yung performance management. So I would I will correct that in my sessions by saying performance management is not a verb. Okay? It is a noun, no? And another thing is, kung pupunta tayo sa essentials ng conversations, you really have to pay attention to the words that you use. Because the words that you should empower the person to improve. Your voice tone, at kahit na screen to screen, kahit na virtual coaching, which many companies are also now adapting kasi marami na rin mga naka-remote policy na, yung body language importante pa rin yun sa virtual coaching. Para maiwasan yung feeling na sinasabon ako, choose your words carefully. Instead of blaming, making the person guilty. Yes, no? Alam na nga niyang mali siya, dinidiin mo pa. Choose your words carefully. Deliver it in. Yung voice tone, malaking impact siya sa coaching. Kasi kahit na pinipraise mo yung tao, our voice tone really communicates the sincerity of the leader.
How would you
Also, di ba yung lagi natin sinasabi sa coaching, ask rather than tell. Or dapat,
yes,
diba?
yes.
I think yun yung sa akin, yun ang pinaka-essence na coaching ito. Kasi mas marami akong tanong kaysa binibigyan kita ng sagot.
Kasi pag nagbibigay ka, di ba, parang advisory yun.
Advising. Actually, yun yung tanong ko, pareho. Yung differentiation between coaching and advising. At I think one of the reasons why we should avoid having no structure kasi by default yung mga supervisor managers go to advising mode pag walang walang structure.
Totoo yan, Ed. Sa mga transcript ko nga di ba? I may have listened to as a third party observer, I may have listened to or witnessed hundreds kung hindi siguro umabot na ng more than 1,000 coaching sessions, no? 9 out of 10 talagang makikita mo sa transcript Pag pina-transcribe ko yung aking recording, mahaba yung pages ng ang coach ang nagsasalita. Kaya nga, when I give them feedback, look at the transcript, you spoke for 2 pages, 2 full pages. What will the person say? Okay po. Thank you, sir.
Close-ended question. Naintindihan mo ba? Opo, very good.
Big realization sa kanila yon pag pinapakita ko yung transcript, no? Talagang nakasulat. Sabi nila, oh my God. So Louie, what do I do? Ang sinasabi ko sa kanila, the answers that you provide, inhibit yourself from giving that. Formulate a question. With the answer that you have in mind, try to formulate a question that will try to elicit that answer. And then be ready to also get answers that you have not imagined.
Okay.
Ito ang tanong sa akin palagi. Pagka nagko-coaching training ako, tinatanong ng managers, paano kung sinasabi lagi na employee, di ko na talaga kayang sagutin. Sabihin nyo nga sa akin ano na isagot. Ganyan,
Ibig sabihin, Pearl, talagang the person's already asking for help. No, at that point, binigyan ka na niya ng license to be an advisor. Or counselor, no?
Actually, maganda yung segue doon sa yung situational leadership where coaching is part. And that's when you realize that the person requires directing, not coaching.
Pero may way pa rin yun Di ba? So, advice in the sense na, okay, so if I'm into that situation, since you're asking for help, here's what I would do. What about you? Or what do you think? Diba? So ibabalik mo pa rin. Tama ba, Louie? Ibabalik mo pa rin. Para yung sense of ownership, nasa kanya.
Pwedeng 3 levels yan. No? Yeah. Because telling is advising. On the other hand, asking questions. No? Yan yung push and pull din na tinatawag. Do you pull it out or do you push it? No? Yeah. Yung middle ground dyan, Jun, yung sinasabi mo. No?
Yeah.
Yung suggesting or
kung
giving options.
Wala na
Giving options A, B, C. So hindi ko na talaga maisip. O sige, meron akong naiisip na 2 option or 3 option. Tapos tutulungan mo siyang i-weigh.
Yes, yes.
At baka meron pa siyang maisip, ma-stimulate ka na, sir, meron ako nakikitang 4th option dyan.
Ako naman, ang tinatanong ko sa mga sitwasyon na gano'n, how do you want me to help you? So, kapag sinabi ng tao, I need clear instruction about how to do this because I'm confused, or I need walkthrough. And that's exactly what I'll give kasi sa kanya galing yun eh. Okay. I want to spend more time on the structure in a bit, no? Pero merong magandang tanong dito si Luz kasi yung ibang tanong pertains to structure, no? Hindi ko po kayo ini-ignore, ha? Kevin, meron pang isang tanong dito about what is the best structure. In a bit I will tackle that, pero let's have this, no, yung kay Luz. Is it okay to assign a coach that is not the employee's direct manager? I'm thinking that if it is direct manager, the coaching might only focus on the task.
I remember, Luz, ito yata, ganito yung ginagawa natin dati. Yung meron ka ng assigned coach. I remember, yun yung ginagawa namin nun sa dati naming company kasi magkasama kami ni Luz. Na iba yung coach mo. You're assigned a coach, a permanent coach. At the beginning, parang ilang weeks pa lang or even like a month when you get into the work, meron ka ng permanent coach. And kasama mo yung coach na yun as you progress through your career. Tama ba ako, Luz?
Ang take ko dyan, let's go back again to the purpose of coaching. It's a conversation that, generally speaking, should help unlock a person's potential to achieve greater performance. Kung yung conversation na yun ay pwedeng manggaling sa isang tao na hindi niya direct manager, yes, if the task or the job or the role could be requires something that someone can get from another, then so be it. No? In fact, para sa akin, po pwedeng maraming coaches, no? Pwede yung direct manager ko ay coach ko. Pwede rin ako merong coach sa isang functional expertise, no? Na source is in another department or another unit.
I have two things for that. Una, when you look at the competencies you require, most often than not, coaching is there. It's part of the managerial competencies. So we already expect it from managers. So they should be able to coach. Eh, sino bang ibang i-coach nila kung hindi yung mga staff nila? So that's the first thing. And then to address yung confusion between the manager role and the coach's role. Kasi dalawang magkaibang hat yun eh. Kaya importante yung regularity of coaching, Louie.
Yes.
Na we're going into this coaching conversation, wala kang kasalanan. It's really just part of our coaching conversation. And in this particular situation, you are the topic. Your growth is the topic. So I'm coming in not as your manager, I'm coming in as your coach. 'Di ba? Kasi kailangan nating ihiwala yung pinagagalitan kita kasi may mali kang ginawa. That's the manager talking. And then yung coaching conversation that's done regularly, in a scheduled manner, following a structured approach. The hat that I'm wearing is not of the manager, but of a coach. Kailangan malinaw yon kasi kung hindi mo yon ma-delineate, tama si Luz eh. Makukonfuse yung employee. Am I talking to my coach or am I talking to my boss?
Yeah. And diba? Ako, ang opinion ko dyan, kasi sabi mo nga, Ed, it's a competency of the manager. Kung hindi nakikita ng employee na ang coach niya is his or her direct manager, so nawawala yung credibility na coach, pag may kailangan akong coaching, andyan lagi yung manager ko. I can always go to my manager. If I always look at another person for coaching, then the coaching relationship begins to be lost, di ba? Dapat merong ganong coaching relationship between the manager and...
Actually, may connect ito, Pearl, doon sa tanong ni Manuel nung nako-confuse siya doon sa coaching and mentoring. Yun yung mentoring relationship with yun yung medyo nababawasan, when there's another coach. Yung mentoring relationship between the manager and the employee. Parang yung opportunity to exercise that will be lessened.
Ed, quick lang. So, quick answer to that, Luz, is yes, on certain performance areas. For example, I have been an agile coach. So as a Scrum Master, you are also the coach of the organization when it comes to adopting agile practices. So you help others. You use coaching conversation. So hindi yun magagawa ng head ng employee because that competency is not yet there. So they need a coach. So I was like an external coach to the different departments. Way back in the Middle East, I was like a strategic coach. Because yung adoption of a certain business strategy, that was part of our departments, corporate performance management, hindi HR. Pero kung behavior mo at performance mo yung pinag-uusapan, let's say yung sinabi ni Louie, getting the buy-in for the target that is between us. I don't see any option of outsourcing that to somebody else.
Yung conversation na yun, yes.
Yung conversation na yun. So that means fundamentally, coaching is part or essential part of the role of the leader. Hindi nga lang siya magaling pa, kulang pa lang siya ng skills, right? Pero hindi yun pwedeng i-outsource.
Kailangan i-develop yung capability na
But
yun.
it's true, there are certain you can get external help.
Okay, okay. Sige, makakapusin tayo ng oras. Manuel, merong topic on mentoring. Pakihanap po sa YouTube si Mentor M, yung ating naipaliwanag niya yung difference between coaching and mentoring structure, Louie. Alam ko nag-ready ka dito. Share with us what would be a good structure. How do you start it? How do you end it? Take the floor.
Ito, please confirm if you can see the slides.
Kita. Oo.
Okay. Natagal na natin pinag-uusapan yung 70-20-10 model. No? Marami sa mga audience natin. Saka kung ikaw ay nasa talent development practice, alam na alam natin to. No? So if we look at social learning, which is the 20%, I have divided that into feedback and coaching. Actually, Manuel, may pangatlo pa dito. Yung third column, tinanggal ko muna, no? Para hindi makadagdag sa no? Pero kung titignan mo, may feedback, may coaching, at saka may mentoring, no? And we can differentiate feedback and coaching as feedback is the conversation which is more often than not one way. Okay? More telling. Kaya nga feedback di ba? You are giving somebody your observation or your input, no? Meron siyang ginawa, meron siyang na-miss, feedback mo sa kanya. Kasi most likely, he's not aware of that, the impact of that behavior on others, no? Madami mga feedback techniques, may sandwich technique kayong alam, may SBI technique, which is situation, behavior, impact, no? Ako ang ginagamit ko yung best technique, which is behavior, effects, and solution, no? Now, feedback is not coaching. Coaching is not feedback. Although these are two conversations that could work very well together. Pwedeng i-combine. Two ingredients that could be placed into one. Yung coaching is more of a two-way conversation. Why is it two-way? Because the topics really require the involvement of the coachee. Unang-una, skills transfer. Paano ko ba matatransfer sa kanya yung knowledge and skills sa mas mahusay na paraan? Saan ba siya nahihirapan? Ano ba ang mga struggles niya? No? Maybe sa isang subject matter, hirap siya sa process step 2 and 5. Pero okay siya sa 1, 4, and 6. No? And I need to be able to converse with him for me to be able to identify where he needs help. No? Di ba tayo mga Pilipino, pag sinasabing, i-coach mo nga ako, hindi ko alam to. Di ba? Nandito yun sa column ng skills transfer. No? At kung ang ginagamit ko namin ni June, no? Kasi kami galing dati ng pre-read, yung Pesos coaching sa sales. No? Prepare, explain, show. Dito nagkukulang June, Ed, Pearl. No? We are very good in explaining. Sir, paano po ba ito? Yada. Oh, gets mo na. Ano sasabihin ng employee? Gets ko na po. Pagbabalik sa test niya, ini-imagine niya, paano nga ba to? Kasi kulang tayo sa show, and then kulang tayo dun sa ikaw naman, observe, and then support. Ed, sabi mo kanina, 4 P's ito, di ba? Meron tayong 4 4Ps, no? Ed, sige nga, paki-enumerate.
Yung 4Ps natin ay prepare the employee, present, and then practice, and then perform. Yung practice with your help, and then let the person perform without your help.
Madaming guilty sa mga leaders na present lang o kaya explain lang, no? We don't take time to show how a skill is done, no? So dito papasok ngayon yung mga experiential methods like role play and simulation, yes, and case studies, no? Ngayon ko ang focus naman ng usapan ay goal achievement or performance achievement or career aspiration, career coaching. No? Ibang klaseng coaching pa rin siya. Pero ang aking recommended na structure dito ay yung GROW model. Pakita ko na ba, Ed? Pakita ko na si...
Yeah.
Let's ko na, no? Pero bago tayo mag-grow, some of you are already familiar with this philosophy or approach, yung radical candor. Bago tayo magpunta sa structure, i-check muna ang ating mga sarili, mag-self-assessment muna. Do we really have that caring for the person? Okay? Because again, the intention of any coaching conversation is to develop and improve the person. We should always have that desire in us to see improvement. Mahirap ito kasi lalo na pag non-performer, lalo na pag may attitude issues, no?
May halong inis.
Sumasagot-sagot pa eh.
Yung mga thought bubble natin na bakit coach pa, sana mag-resign na lang, di ba? Which we all know we cannot do. So, for us to be a good coach, we really need to care for people personally, care for non-performers personally, care for those who may be lost in their way, no, and who may have a negative perspective. Yung isa naman, dapat ready din tayo mag-challenge, hindi lang caring, hindi lang relationship. Dapat nandun pa rin yung challenging the person to improve, to perform. Tapos dyan na ngayon papasok yung 4 types of approaches. Radical candor is the one that really shows high caring and challenging people directly. The 3 others here are not good options because they lead to these negative after effects that you can see outside the 2x2 matrix. Ito na ngayon, tatalo na ako sa GROW para ma-preview natin yung GROW. Credits to Sir John Whitmore. Talagang po siya, knighted siya kaya may Sir sa kanyang pangalan. Meron siyang book na sinulat na GROW, Performance. And GROW stands for 4 steps in the conversation guided by these keywords here. So ibig sabihin, ang opening mo ng conversation is a review, revisit, or setting of goals that the person wants to achieve. And then proceeding to, kung ito ang goal, this is the ideal, where are we now? What is the actual? What's the reality? And why are we here? And then, how do we now close the gap between the goal and the reality? What are our alternative courses of action, or what we call options? Now we've selected the best option or options. How do we now execute this? What is our way forward? How much willingness or confidence do you have? Sabi nga ni Ed kanina yan, importante yan. And then you wrap up the coaching session so that the person is confident, no, and feels empowered to execute. May kung marami tayong pwedeng gamiting guide questions, tweak mo na lang yan base sa sa sitwasyon, no? So ano nga ba ang project goals natin? For example, June, what are the project goals of timeliness and quality? Or what are your KPIs? Could you please recap your KPIs the past quarter? Okay? And then where are we right now? If it's 95% quality target, what is our score in the past quarter? Why was that the score? What happened? What were the root causes? No? What barriers did you encounter? Bakit delayed ang project? No? Ano ang pwede nating gawin? Priority, 2 to 3 action items. Of the 2 or 3, if time and resources are not a problem, pwede nating gawin lahat. Pero kung hindi kaya, anong priority natin? And then who will do what by when? The action plan. So people know, the coach and the coachee know who's responsible for what activity after the coaching. GROW in a nutshell.
Yeah. Oh, i-role play na natin para makita natin. Game ba kayo, June, Pearl?
Game si Pearl.
Ako talaga.
Sinong gustong maging coach at sinong gustong maging coachy?
Coachy na lang ako.
Coachy ka, coachy. Ikaw, June, ang coach. Oh, employee at saka supervisor. O ginto si Wiggy.
Yeah?
Pwede ba?
Sige.
Oo.
Sample lang, di ba?
Sample lang, mabilis
so
lang.
Setting it's we are to discuss yung performance target.
Performance target lang. Okay,
let's
sige,
say,
sige.
diba? So, ang
Ready?
preliminaries doon.
Okay na kayo?
The preliminaries muna, so high pearl, blah, blah, blah. Tapos na yon, di ba?
Oo.
Tapos na yung kumustahan.
Tapos na yung rapport building.
Tapos na yung rapport building.
Goal setting, okay.
Hi Pearl, what is the goal that you are trying to achieve? And the joke lang. Binasa lang.
Talagang kailangan English, sir.
Alright, sige. Actor mode.
Actor mode.
Actor mode.
So, Pearl, last performance period, you the goal that the target that we agreed on, it's let's say sales to, no? So 1.2 million. 1.2 million, right? So what about this year? Because usapan natin noon, it's I have my numbers, you have yours, pero I don't want to impose this number, right? So I just want to know now, what do you commit for this year, assuming this is January?
Okay. Well, ano ba talagang targets natin, sir? Kasi mahirap na magsabi ako ng figures, tapos yung pala, hindi ko naman pala ma-achieve eh.
Pinahirapan ni Pearl, no? Siyempre. Okay. So last performance period kasi last 2023, assuming this is 2024, we aim for 1.2 million, right? And so if you look at the way you perform, and you were also there during our business planning, so you know the overall target, right? You also have your team because you're a sales supervisors. And I'm sure you have also talked to them about their performance target. So that's why I'm asking, what's the number that you came up with in those?
Well, for the year, I think dahil medyo mahirap after COVID and everything. So I think an increase of 10% in the target would be, I think, highly achievable and also fair to my team also.
We'll stop there, Ed. So ibig sabihin noon, the context of grow is hindi lang basta umupo kayo doon and then magtatanong ka na lang.
Role play, come on, June. G.
Tinapos ko na yung G, di ba? So, pero ang lessons learned doon, it's mayroong setup yun.
Learned, sir.
Okay.
Diretso natin para makita natin ang buo.
All right. So if that is your target, let's go back to what you have achieved last year. So that's how many % ba of how you performed last year?
Hindi, kaya nga, ang target ko na lang, sir, para madali di ba? Kung ano yung target last year, just add 10% based on the market, di ba? Realities of the market. Pero I don't want to set too high a target because galing nga tayo sa pandemic and we still haven't felt parang how the economy and how our clients have recovered from the effects of the pandemic.
I understand. So what you're saying is that you're incrementing by 10% based on how you see the economic performance, how you've seen us perform, right? So ito yung mga naging parameters mo. Tama.
Actually, sir, kung kaya nyo ibaba pa, mas maganda, di ba?
9.9.
Pwede namang parang mababa yung target, pero gusto namin, increase naman namin yan.
I see. All right. I understand where you're coming from. And based on this, look at the numbers of our overall team performance. Paano in-account yung, kasi you're sales supervisor so by teams ka, diba? So that means, how have you accounted also the sales targets of your individual.
Nasa ARBA tayo?
Reality.
Okay, sige.
Tig 10% din ba yung naging kwan nila? So that's why I'm basically asking.
Sir, kasi tinignan ko rin naman yung capability ng mga tao eh. Siyempre, meron akong mga tao na medyo mahina pa rin, kailangan pa rin i-training. So, sa kanila, mas maliit. Pero, overall, in average na lang namin, ano yung targets ng bawat isa, and we came up with an additional 10%.
So, if we make this like 15%, for example, so how does that sound to you and to your team?
Mahirap yun, sir, kasi alam mo na, pagka naglagay ka ng masyadong mataas sa target, hindi namin ma-achieve yan, mababa yung ano namin, yung merit increase at saka yung performance bonus namin.
And then dadaling ko siya sa options. Because
Okay.
we are going to explore what are the possible ways by which we can bring it to 15%. So let's say if we just assume that is 15%. So ano yung mga pwede nating gawin that would lead us to the 15%?
Ikaw kaya magsabi sa akin, sir.
Ang galing nitong aking coaching. Okay, what have you done last year?
Kayo yung may target na 15, ako nga 10 lang eh. So dapat bigyan niyo ako, ano yung dadagdag ko para maging 15?
Yung last year, based on your performance, what worked?
Actually, ano nga despite the fact na medyo tagilid yung economy noon, yung mga clients natin medyo ayaw nilang mag-risk, di ba? Una, magaling lang talaga yung team ko Top performers yung members ng team ko It's just that magaling sila magbenta. And also, I think we were able to present yung possibilities, di ba? Yun yung we were able to present possibilities para they would have that confidence to also invest and also get our products and services.
Oh, that's good to hear, no? Na magagaling yung mga team, and I'd like to affirm that also, Pearl, because I know how they perform also. Having said that,
however, sir, ganito ang
please.
problema Meron akong isang team member that I think magre-resign siya before siguro in about 2 or 3 months na project ko na nakikita ko na gustong mag-design. Now, if we were to still maintain like a high percentage ng increase, and then magkukulang naman yung team ko, and I might get, if ever magkukuha ako na bago, of course, merong learning curve yan, baka hindi namin ma-achieve yung if we are to increase yung percentage ng sales.
I see. So so assuming na pag-usapan natin yun about that before, and that would really pose a challenge to the team. So I understand, and I also agree with that opinion. No? Now, having said that, ano pa ang strategies that we could do or your team can do differently given those situations that we can probably explore?
Well, we're thinking of a project na parang event that we could do to actually invite more clients, and also parang recognition din ng mga old clients natin that have supported us despite yung several years na medyo pandemic tayo.
Oh, that's good, no? So we can that. And then I also understand that Louis, one of your team members, is aiming to become, promoted for next level. Isn't it, right? Tama ba?
Nga pero
yes.
Oo nga, nakikita ko nga yun Pero paano yun, sir? Kung promote siya, parehas na kami ng level.
Hindi, kunyari hindi. Kunyari hindi. No? So the idea there is I would go to that option, which is okay. So
pinahirapan ba kita, sir?
Yeah. No, it's okay because in reality pwede mangyari yan. So that means if Louis is aiming for that level of position, so can you take a look at the performance target that you have provided him? So close-ended muna, is it already aligned to preparing him to that level of performance, or still on this level where he is currently?
Sir, I'll just develop a development plan for him, and then I will present it to you because it's already 7 o'clock.
Yeah.
So, pagkadalian ko ng buhay mo.
Okay. And then I will go to the will. Diba?
Yes.
So, yeah. So what support do you need? What further conversations we can have? So in reality, wrap up lang sa mga audience natin. Hindi po yung papasok ka sa goal, reality options way forward, wala kang dalang bala. So 80-20 rule, 20% of the effort in coaching is actually due to conversation, especially kung numbers game ito. 80% is pinag-aaralan mo yon, no? May preparations kang ginagawa, especially if this is sales coaching. Kami ni Louis sanay dyan, no? Talagang tawaran yan pababa. So if you are not ready, you don't have your numbers, you don't have data, background information and all, then matatrap ka. The grow will not save you. It would only complicate things. So and thanks Pearl because you've shown that. No?
Pahirap si Pearl.
Yeah, that's good.
Louis, ano mo sasabi?
Madali yung kausap mo. Sabi ko nga, when your coach is coachable, the grow conversation becomes very easy. But when you will have very difficult employees, so kung wala kang structure, mahihirapan ka talaga.
At kahit may structure ka, kung wala kang bala, di ba? Wala kang sufficient. And let me just put that into context. The conversation might be difficult, but it's not the person who is the difficult one, right? It's a reality for him or her that for him, 10% is already huge. Pero person ang kailangan. How do you get the buy-in? So pinaghahandaan yun so that you can segue towards those. Yep.
Agree with Maribel. Importante yung coachability. Pero kasi when you're talking about performance goals, ano yun non-negotiable na meron dapat performance goals And sometimes you cannot negotiate the actual number.
Yeah.
Kasi yun yung kailangan ma-achieve ng organization. Louis, what do you think?
Yung behavior Pearl, natural yan. I would say sa mga na-audit ko mga hundreds na coaching, mga 6 out of 10 ganyan talaga to. 3 out of 10 yung sasagot sa tanong ng diretso at talagang yung sagot ay on point at saka walang pushback, pero yung 5 out of 6 to, they will usually have their own either reasons or excuses or alibis or struggles. So, mauuna yung, ang tinatanong mo, goal struggles na kaagad ang kanilang i-volunteer. Talagang maganda yung paggamit ng structure para alam natin kung saan ibalik. No? Yung reality, ang isa pang na-realize natin dito sa ating mga televiewers, sa ating audience, hindi it's very challenging to do your complete grow coaching kung ganun ang topic sa 5 minutes, no?
Yeah, of course.
Please expect that the fastest effective grow coaching I have observed is around 15 minutes, no?
Yeah, 15 minutes should do it.
Kaya talagang nabitin Kung may oras doon si June sa kasi Pearl, alam ko na mas nag-root cause analysis pa sila sa reality. Kasi nasa options na nakita mo, bumabalik si Pearl sa root cause. Meron siya mga reasons, may mga pushback siya.
And I think kailangan talaga prepared ka for the coaching.
Oh, yes.
The data should be there. Diba? Especially when you explain a goal. Especially kung target yan ng kumpanya as a whole. Yeah. You have to have that data. Kasi kung madali kang ma-overtake ng mo coach.
Kaya si coach, dapat may coaching plan. Meron siyang lista
discussion
ng
guide.
Meron siyang listahan ng actual performance. Meron siyang listahan ng what possible root causes will the coachee raise. What possible pushback. Anticipate mo na yung mga possible pushback ni coachee. Options din at saka wrap up. Ang isang nagustuhan ko ginawa ni June, yung nagtanong siya Binalik sa kanya ni Pearl, sir, why don't you tell me what to do? Ang ganda ng question ni June na, what worked last year? Di ba? Ang wish ko na sundan nyo ng, so what did not work? Di ba? Kung may what worked, what did not work, and what's something that we can introduce this year.
And siguro just to add, you cannot prepare everything. I mean, preparation is important. But I think importante yung listening with the intention to understand. So when you put a label on the coach's answer, halimbawa, she's making an excuse.
Yeah.
O nag-aalibay siya. Iba yung magiging reaction mo eh. But if you take it as input in the conversation and you don't label it, mas masosolve nyo ng mabilis yung yung challenge. Yung you see it from the other person's perspective rather than, teka, gumagawa ng excuses tong tao na to para para hindi ma-achieve yung target, para masabing hindi achievable yung target. And then second, sobrang importante ng way forward na involve ka dun sa way forward, hindi yung ito yung gagawin mo ganyan tapos okay na. Wala kang parte dun sa way forward. Dapat meron. As a manager and as a coach, dapat may parte ka dun. What will be your role in the way forward?
Dun sa way forward, siguro kasi ang dami ko rin nakita na sa coaching trials. Yung manager, dahil sobrang gusto niyang mag-support, siya yung gagawa ng lahat.
Hindi na coaching yun.
Wala nang responsibility yung
mali
coaching.
Mali yun. That's to be mutual.
Kasama sa way forward, yung para maging cycle siya, monthly cycle siya, yung check-in ninyo after 30 days. No?
Okay. Wala na po tayong oras. Overtime na tayo ng 7 minutes. Pasensya na po kayo. At in the future, I'm sure we'll return to this conversation. Thank you so much, Louie, for the valuable inputs. And I hope yung ating mga audience for tonight took in some wisdom that they can use in strengthening the coaching culture in their organization. Last words, Louie?
Coaching again goes back to caring for people. If we care enough for the people, you will not sugarcoat, you will not tell them what they want to hear. It will also lead you to challenge them directly so that they can really bring their best selves to work.
Okay, very good. June?
Yeah, and out of that caring, that would lead you to defining clearly what is the goal of your conversation during the management stages. No? So if it is goal setting, you are not only there to clarify the goal, but to create a compelling and strong buy-in. And you cannot do that without coaching.
Right. And Pearl?
I think what we have to learn is that coaching really is about listening to your employee. Hindi ka nakikinig. Kasi, di ba, you have to know where that person is coming from. So empathy also is plays a good deal in terms of your coaching.
All right. At dyan po nagtatapos, ayan si Louie, IMPSTD. Dyan po nagtatapos ang isa namang Usapang Training at Iba Pa. Ayan. So bago po tayo